Camouflage. We're going to be looking all over the place to see who we can find. Though I do already see somebody on the left side of the road. There's a really big black and white bird with a large orange bill. That's the saddle-bill stork. The saddle-bill can be about 5 feet tall with a 9-foot wingspan. And when they communicate, they're going to clack their bills together instead of vocalizing like other birds do. And then on our right, way over there, between the bamboo, those are okapi with the zebra stripes on their legs. They might look like they're related to zebras, but their closest living relative is actually the giraffe. They both have a long prehensile tongue, and they can reach out and grab food from over a foot away. Male okapis also have something called ossicones on their head. Those are those bone... Let's see who is hiding around here. Less hiding and more of just looking like a big rock. On top of the hill in front of us is a black rhino. Straight ahead up on top of the hill. The black rhino is the smallest rhino species in Africa, weighing only about 3,000 pounds each. And that big horn that you're seeing there is made out of keratin. That's the same thing that makes up our hair and fingernails. But for them, it also makes up that large horn. Speaking of horns, those bongo in front of us are those brown striped antelopes with the spiral horns. Their stripes help them blend in with the forest, look like sun rays coming in through the canopy. But on our right over there, they have a different species of antelope there. Those are the greater kudu. They're a little behind us and way up on the hill. They don't have any horns. That's because those ones are female, and only the males do. The male kudu horns can be up to 6 feet long. Well, don't you look majestic right here? Hello, pretty lady. And it is a little hard to tell with the bongo if it's a male or female, but part of that is... Now I do see a hippo, 2 of them actually in the water on our right. Now if you can't see them safely here, we are going to have more river on our left in just a moment. But hippopotamus does mean water horse. And they get that name from their movement. They sink underwater and they'll be able to run, walk, and jump on the riverbed. And then on our right, these big white birds are the pink-backed pelicans. During their breeding season, their back, legs, and neck turn pink, and that's a way for them to try to attract a mate. Now on our left, I do see another hippo up over here in the water, a little bit easier to see. And as we go along, we're going to keep our eye out for the rest of the bloat. That's the name for a group of hippos altogether. Is kind of an ironic name for a group of hippos because they are mostly muscle. That's a big part of how they're able to sink underwater so well and be so powerful. Speaking of the boat, I see the rest of them on our left side. They're under the waterfall right up against the cliff face. All the way on the left. And then on our left here is a Nile crocodile, right at the water's edge, in the middle. That's the largest crocodile species in Africa. It's 16 feet long on average. They can also eat about half of their body weight in one sitting when they're really hungry. So that's an average of about 250 pounds of food at once. That was the thrill ride portion of the safari. All 9 miles an hour we went downhill. And right here is a baobab tree. They're also called the tree of life. They can hold hundreds of gallons of water inside their bark. Animals chew on the bark or dig into it as a way to get extra water. Because out in the savannah we might have 9 months with no rainfall. just a moment. We're gonna go head into the savannah ourselves. Once that truck gets all the way to the bottom, because I have a feeling they're gonna stop for a second to look at the giraffes that are over there. We're not. We're gonna blow right past them as fast as I can. And everybody, welcome to the savannah. Now here on our right is the Hartman's mountain zebra. There's another one on our left as well. Looks like we are just all around all of the zebras and the giraffes here. These mountain zebra have slightly smaller hooves than other species. That helps them get their footing in that rough mountainous terrain. And these are Maasai giraffes specifically, the tallest animals in the world at 18 to 20 feet tall. Except for that little one there, that's a baby. He's only a couple of months old. And when they're first born, they're already 6 feet tall. And they're able to run and walk within their first couple hours after being born. So quite a bit different from people. But also different from people. It takes about 14 months for a giraffe to give birth. And they give birth while standing up. But on the right, here's a great example of one of them using that prehensile tongue to grab food from up above. And on our left side, those are the African painted dogs. Painted dogs are some of the most successful predators in Africa. And they're pack hunters that use that to bring down prey much larger than themselves. And at the head of the sable antelopes, they're laying by themselves in a clearing. Those 3 brown antelopes with the large horns. They're the symbol of the Harambe Reserve. And they're one of the few antelopes that choose the fight option in fight or flight. So they'll stay and defend themselves when they're threatened. Are you munching? Hello. And also on our left over there, those are humans. Never seen them before out here. And if you see all those giraffes eating, they're always eating something or chewing on something. And that's a way for them to keep their stomach working. Because with that, they only sleep about half an hour a day, and all of that is while they're standing up. So they do sometimes lay down to rest physically, but they'll still be awake and chewing on something typically. Looks like we're gonna have a great view of the animals here on our right as we go around this big bend.
23 hours a day.
Oh, baby's being shielded. Now up ahead of us, there are some really small antelopes walking around and grazing. They have that s'mores color pattern on them. Those are springbok. Springbok are named for their jumping ability. They can go about 6 feet high or 13 feet across in a single jump. Did you know our canopy is about 6 feet off the ground? They have no interest in us. Now when they jump, they do something called pronking, where they bring all 4 legs together in a point under their body. So if you think about like a claw machine in an arcade closing, it's that kind of motion when they jump. We're going to take it a little bit slower because all these trees being down is a good sign that we're by some elephant territory. So we're going to watch out for them as we go through here and see if anyone's being shy at the moment. if you look on our right side, right on the other side of the grasses here, the big bush, you'll see one of the elephants as we go around the corner. And another one on our ahead of us on the right as well. I mentioned those trees for a reason. Elephant trunks are strong enough to pull a tree straight out of the ground, but they also have enough dexterity to pick up a single blade of grass at a time as well. There he is. Good morning, buddy. On our right here, full of red clay, and that's really important for elephants. They dig into that with their tusks and eat portions of it as a way to get extra vitamins and minerals. So it's just like if you're taking a multivitamin when you're back home, just with a little bit of extra work. Now on the right side, you can see some of those tusk marks in the cliffside. Let's see if we can find anybody else. We are surrounded by more baobab trees around here, and they're also called an upside down tree. And if you look at the branches up top, you'll see why. Their branches lay roots for 9 months out of the year where they don't have any leaves. And that's that same 9 months where we don't have much, if any, rainfall in the savanna. Plants do lose water through their leaves into the atmosphere. So these trees have adapted to not do that during those dry months. The springbok laying down here as well on our right, being very cute and looking the exact opposite way. She's shy. And up ahead here are the greater flamingos. They get their color like all flamingos do from their food. They eat shrimp and krill and algae, and that'll contain something called beta carotene, and that gives them that pink color as they get older. And there's some baby ducks on our left. They're not part of the safari, they're just here. Yes. We are still out here in the savanna. It's just a bit more of a wooded portion of it. The animals here do tend to prefer a little bit more shade than that wide open plain we were just in. And if you notice that big mud pit on our left, that's a mud wallow, and that is useful for rhinos. They roll around in that and then lay down to cover themselves in mud, and then it'll cool them down and then act as a rhino sunscreen for the day. to look out for them because they can be anywhere here. But up ahead on the hill, I do see a cheetah walking around. There it is. Cheetahs are the fastest land mammal. They can run up to 60 miles an hour. And they'll use those non-retractable claws that they have to dig into the ground and act as cleats. Unlike most other cats, their claws don't fully retract. And then right here is a water buck. They have an oil that secretes from their body and gives them a very distinct odor they use to mark territory. And there's another cheetah laying down as well on our left, staring down the water buck that are being very brave right now. Those cheetahs do sound a lot different than other big cats. They don't roar like a lion or a tiger would. They meow and hiss and purr, and they sound like a big house cat. Up ahead of us there are the white rhinos, but on our left here are the lions as well. It's nap time for the lions. They're going to be resting and sleeping anywhere from 16 to 20 hours a day. And they'll get up at night and start hunting. The two closest to us are juvenile. That male is still growing. I don't know the exact age. Eventually, though, you'll be able to hear his roar from about 5 miles away. Right now, not so much. But that's not his fault. He's just a little guy. So we're getting a pretty close view of the rhinos here. So if you were wondering whether or not they can reach us out here on the road, yes. They're right here because they know they're my favorites.
They're so cute.
Good morning. These are the white rhinos. They get their name from a mistranslation of the word weit in Afrikaans, which means wide. And that refers to that wide, flat mouth you see there. And then ahead of us is an ostrich, straight ahead. It's the largest bird in the world, and they can run about 40 miles an hour. And when there's a female, we can tell because she has much more gray feathers than the darker black the males would have. And then on our right are her eggs. Those ostrich eggs can be about 3 pounds each, and they have a tough enough shell to withstand a person standing on them without breaking. Now for a weight equivalent, they're about 24 chicken eggs each. Welcome to Magadi Glen. This is the Warden's Outpost here. And at the Warden's Outpost are the Nigerian dwarf goats. And they are well known for their climbing ability as well as their milk, which is very sweet and has a lot of nutrition to it. And there's a couple in the Jeep as well. They're going to go on their own safari after we go. And that big yellow box above the white one that's grazing is a bee box. That's for honeybees. If anyone here is afraid of bees at all, you're in good company because elephants are afraid of them as well. And that's really important to keeping them safe in different parts of Africa. A long time ago, there was an issue between elephants and farmers. Elephants would eat all the crops they could, and those farmers would take to poaching to protect their profits. But there was a lot of research done right here at Animal Kingdom, and it was found that elephants are so scared of bees, they leave the area if they see or hear even one nearby. So we founded the Elephant and Bee Project. That's a partnership with those farmers. They surround them with fences and bee boxes and form what's called a living barrier. So when those elephants come by, the bees start to come out, and the elephants want nothing to do with that. So they leave that area. That's going to keep those elephants and those farms safe. It does take about 22 months for an elephant to give birth. So you can imagine it takes a very long time to recover that population. It's really important that if we want to keep them around as long as we can, we keep them safe and healthy in the wild as much as we can for as long as we can. But now, folks, going through the water there does mean we have reached the end of our safari time together. We're going to be docking here shortly, but we don't like to say goodbye here at Harambe. Instead, we say Kwaherini. Kwaherini is a Swahili phrase that means to go well. So Kwaherini, everybody. Once again, my name's Daryl. I hope you had a great time with me today. And if anybody here is a wilderness explorer, our truck's name is the Simba 1. You've been aboard the Simba 1.